A history-making season.
And the Ducks are going to quack their way to the Big Ten championship.
The Oregon Ducks want an encore, but the winds of change sweeping through Eugene.
It is a cast of new characters.
Last year's stars, now NFL rookies. Who's ready to step up for Dan Lanning?
I know damn well I'm hungry, for sure.
In Corvallis, the Beavers survived the uncertainty, starting strong in 24, but falling flat down the stretch.
We didn't achieve what we felt we should have.
Unfinished business in year 2 of the Trent Bray era, with more firepower under center.
He throws one of the best deep balls I've seen a quarterback throw.
Turn up the energy. Football is back, and countdown to kickoff starts now.
Oh yeah, welcome to this KGW special. This is Countdown to Kickoff. My name is Orlando, alongside the one and only Art Edwards. How you feeling, man?
Just fine.
Oh, you know football is back. We are back, so let's do this. For the next half hour, we'll get you ready for the 2025 college football season for the Ducks and Beavers.
Oh yeah.
We start in Eugene, where the Oregon Ducks ran the table in their very first year in the Big Ten, 13 wins and a conference title. Dan Lanning and the Ducks ready to double down.
You look at our success season to season, and as this team has grown, the process works. You know, we're close, and we've been able to accomplish a lot.
35 wins over the past 3 years, each season topping the last. Year 4 of the Dan Lanning era is here, ready to build on last year's early exit in the college football playoff. And there's continuity at the top of the coaching staff. Defensive coordinator Tosh Lupoy and offensive coordinator Will Stein running it back. But there are lots of unknowns going into the season. 18 starters are gone, including a program record. 10 players selected in the NFL draft. After back-to-back Heisman finalists, one burning question remains. Who's the starting quarterback? 2 returning sophomores are battling for the job in Dante Moore and Austin Novosad. Moore, the likely favorite, a UCLA transfer and former 5-star recruit, has gotten lots of praise from coaches and teammates this fall. Offensive coordinator Will Stein compared Moore to a former teammate of his, Teddy Bridgewater, saying Moore has that moxie about him, that it factor that people gravitate towards. More on what sets him apart from other QBs around the country.
I feel like this year, one thing that's going to separate me is, of course, every quarterback can throw the ball. Every quarterback can make a right check, but I feel like just the preparation, understanding what the defense is going to bring in that game. So I feel like my separation will be my preparation.
Ooh, bars. All right, Art. Is Moore ready to take over as the starter?
Yeah, I believe he is. You know, he had that time at UCLA. He wasn't always good. Sometimes yes, sometimes no. But he has been out there in that starting situation.
I remember you were big on him coming out of Detroit.
Yes, absolutely. You know what? I knew some people back there who had watched him and they thought he was the real deal.
All right, I got one big question for you, Art. On a scale of 1 to 10, how shocking would it be to see Novosad be named the starter on Saturday?
Yeah, it would be off the chart.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, if you could go a 15 or a 20, I mean, it would really be crazy if it was Novosad.
All right, well, we'll get the answer to that question on Saturday. Now, there are a few familiar faces, but only one starter returns on offense. Center Iapani Lalulu, a.k.a. Poncho, a leader and an anchor on the line who hasn't given up a single sack at Oregon. He's on the Remington Trophy watch list, an award given to the most outstanding center in the nation. Speaking of leaders, Bryce Betcher is that dude. The MLB draft pick put his pro baseball career on hold to run it back with the Ducks. A homegrown talent from walk-on to star linebacker, Oregon's top tackler in 2024. Another returning starter is on the edge. Mateo Uiagalelei has risen up the NFL mock drafts as a first-round pick, a second-team preseason All-American heading into his junior season. Uiagalelei collected 10.5 sacks a year ago. Production, the expectation, especially if fellow edge rusher Tatum Tuioti delivers. Finally, the Ducks may have the best tight end in the country. Kenyon Sadiq's hurdle in the Big Ten championship put everyone on notice. Now, he could be the Ducks' top offensive threat. And that's not all he'll provide.
Just being a more vocal leader amongst the young people in the tight end room, but also on the team. So just getting out of my comfort zone and sharing the experience that I do have with the others on the team.
All right, Art, which returner has to deliver in 2025?
Yeah, I think it's Kenyon Sadiq because we don't know what's going to be going on with some of the receivers out there, and he's replacing Terrence Ferguson, who was really good.
He could end up being that top target.
He could.
Man, this could be a coming out party for him, and
oh, yeah.
he could be on Sundays. He's got that talent, right?
Definitely.
Okay, there are quite a few newcomers expected to make an immediate impact. 3 transfers top our list. On offense, Mekhi Hughes, a running back who played at Tulane last year. He joins his brother, freshman Naeem Offer, on the team. Hughes rushed for 1,400 yards, 15 touchdowns last year, the top running back in the portal.
Really just a strong runner, violent runner, has a back, can't let one man get you down. Has a me, our running backs, we always talk about violence, always like finish strong, run hard.
Okay, on the defensive side of the ball, defensive back Dylan Thieneman, a transfer from Purdue. This guy is a big-time playmaker, led all Big Ten defensive backs with 104 tackles. He's a first-team preseason All-American. Thieneman says it's different being in Eugene.
There's been a few moments where it's like, all right, we're not at Purdue anymore. Like a few of those moments, but I'm ready to get to the season.
Man, he's not in Purdue anymore.
No.
The biggest newcomer, literally, offensive tackle Isaiah World, listed at 6'8", 318 pounds, a senior transfer from Nevada, likely tasked with protecting the blind side of QB1. The early mock drafts already project him as a first-round pick in the NFL draft. So, Art, what makes that dude so special?
Well, he's gigantic, and some of the video I saw, he can really move. I was surprised at how well he moved for someone that size.
I know everybody that has seen this dude in person is like, he is huge.
Yeah, it's like the side of a building.
Yeah. So, Art, what is your biggest concern for the Ducks?
Yeah, I think the receiver position is the biggest concern because there are a lot of new guys. There's really no one who is really established at this point at the wide receiver.
Yeah, you've got a 5-star freshman coming in. You've got Justin Lowe. You have some returners, but a lot of question mark in who's going to take over as wide receiver 1.
Yeah, we wonder.
Again, I think you're right about Sadiq, but we shall see. So here we go. The Ducks open the season Saturday against Montana State, a team that won 15 games and played for an FCS National Championship last season, but they've lost some key players, and they'll have a new quarterback starting in transfer Justin Lamson, who actually the Ducks faced back in 2023 when he was at Stanford. Oregon got the better of him.
Oh, yeah.
Say it there, the 7th-ranked Oregon Ducks are heavy favorites, odds makers, taking Oregon by 27.5, Art. So will the Ducks open the season 1-0?
Yes, no doubt about it.
You don't sound concerned at all.
I'm not concerned at all.
They're not going to mess around and find out like they did in Idaho last season.
No rotating of the offensive line probably this year.
So they're going to head out, and
Yes.
we're going to get a lot of those questions
I think
answered
so.
on Saturday. Okay, all right, we're going to call a timeout because we got some predictions to make down the road here. But it is time to call our first timeout. Up next, we head to Corvallis. The Beavers making a big upgrade at QB1. We hear from Malik Murphy as Oregon State gets ready to kick off 2025. Oh, and welcome back. In Corvallis, the Oregon State Beavers survived the uncertainty of conference realignment and a mass exodus. Head coach Trent Bray took over the program, building the dam. And while the Beavs opened last season, winning 4 out of 5, the finish wasn't pretty, crashing out, dropping 6 of their final 7, adding fuel to the fire in 2025.
It's definitely motivation. We didn't achieve what we felt we should have. And so that's motivation for the guys that were here last year that are coming back. And also we've added some pieces of guys that are hungry and they're here to prove something.
So let's start with the coaching staff. This is year 2 of the Trent Bray era. He's also taking over as defensive coordinator after Keith Hayward resigned due to family reasons. Rod Chance will serve as co-DC. On the other side of the ball, Ryan Gunderson returns as the offensive coordinator. There's a new sheriff in town. The Beavers went out and got a quarterback, landing one of the top QBs in the portal. Malik Murphy is Oregon State's starting quarterback. The redshirt junior stands 6'5". He transferred out of Duke, threw for nearly 3,000 yards and a program record 26 touchdowns last season. He also threw a dozen interceptions. Before that, he was at Texas. Our friend John Canzano reported Murphy's NIL deal with Oregon State, $1.5 million. Murphy's got a big arm, and he gives OSU a deep threat they've been missing. He's quickly become a leader on the team, selected as one of the team captains this summer. Murphy likes the progress of the offense in spring and fall camp.
Everybody's getting more comfortable. I think that comes with reps. I said that before. It takes a lot to kind of just build the trust in each player and the play caller to go out there and do the right thing. I think sky's the limit, honestly. We have a lot of versatile pieces. It's a lot of things we could do, and there's a lot of people we could put in certain spots to help us win.
All right, Art, how big of a deal is it for the Beavs to go out and land a guy like Murphy?
Well, this is huge. I mean, this is the best quarterback, at least on paper, that they've had in a lot of years.
If you don't have a quarterback, it's very difficult to be competitive.
Yeah, it really is.
And now he opens up everything that they want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Art, let's talk about the offense. And the Beavers, they've got some returning firepower to the field, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Running back, Anthony Hankerson. 1,082 yards rushing last season. He had 15 rushing TDs, the most since Jaquiz Rogers.
Wow.
Multiple preseason watch lists for this dude, like the Maxwell, the Walter Camp, and Doak Walker. The Beavers not only return their leading rusher, but their leading receiver as well. Trent Walker, the man out of Beaverton High, caught 81 passes for 901 yards. He's ready to go and likes the way the offense is coming together.
He's starting to trust me more and more each practice. I'm just trying to be in the right position, in the right hole that he expects me in. I think we look efficient. I think I like the spot we're in right now as compared to last year going into the first game. I think we're all molding pretty well together, and I think we're ready to go.
Lone returning captain, defensive back Skylar Thomas. The Beavers' leading tackler with 81. He's started 14 games at OSU already. That's the most by any current player. All right, Art, let's talk about some of the likely strengths of this team, like the identity that doesn't change. The ground game will be in full effect. They've got a legitimate 1-2 punch with Hankerson and Salah Allah. They've got dudes at tight end, and they've got depth, starting with senior Bryce Caulfield and Miami transfer Riley Williams, a former Central Catholic star. The Beavs' biggest strength could be its secondary. Versatility has been thrown around. They're big, they've got speed, sporting a blend of youth and experience like Skylar Thomas, arguably their top defensive player. Now, there are some concerns. The offensive line has dealt with injuries and hasn't been at full strength during fall camp. That obviously impacts their vaunted rushing attack. On D, the pass rush has a glaring weakness. They've had just 7 sacks all of last season. They were dead last in college football. Coach Bray has spent a lot of time shoring up the defense, bringing in guys from the portal like Kai Wallen from Nebraska and Rajon Davis from USC. They added key contributors like Nico Taylor and Dexter Foster returning from last season. And Coach Bray says he feels as good about the linebacker room as he did in 2022. So, Art, my question to you is, do you feel confident that they've done enough?
I do feel pretty confident. You know what? I trust what Trent Bray says, and if he's excited about the guys they brought in, then I'm going to be excited about the guys they brought in. I think they probably did a pretty good job of getting some new faces there.
Yeah, and Trent Bray is one of the top defensive minds on the West Coast, and the fact that he's got his hands all over this defense, I think is going to be a bright spot, and I think that they're going to have this defense shored up. But, man, they got to get to the quarterback.
That they do.
All right, Art, the season opener is a banger. The Beavers host Justin Wilcox and the Cal Golden Bears Saturday, 7:30 from Research Stadium. The Beavs slight favorites at 1.5 points. Cal won 6 games last year, and one of those was a 44-7 win over OSU. Cal named true freshman Jaren Keave Sakapolutele as the starting quarterback. So, Art, will the Beavers start the season 1-0?
I believe they will. You know what? It's time for some payback.
Oh!
They need to put some big points up.
Definitely going to have motivation there.
So.
And I do like what you're saying. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback. And knowing that Cal is starting a freshman on the road at Research Stadium, Saturday Night Lights, Ed, that is going to be a tough assignment for a freshman.
It will be. No doubt.
All right, Art says 1-0. I'm saying 1-0, so let's call a timeout. We've talked about the Beavs, but there's no better authority than the head man himself. Up next, Trent Bray talks the state of his program, the improvements he's already seeing in year 2. Lucky enough to have head coach Trent Bray join us now here at Oregon State. Coach, just going back to last year, and this time now, I mean, it had to be just a totally different vibe.
Yeah, it's night and day. I mean, my own knowledge of this position and how to operate it, I think the culture standpoint, guys knowing exactly what that is and what the expectations are. I think all of that helps just bring us along as a program.
Looking at what you have right now, what excites you about this team?
The way that they come to work every day, the way that they prepare, they're locked in, they're committed to this thing, and then I think we've got the talent to do the things we want to do and are capable of doing, and the players themselves have taken over the team, and it's player-led, which is, we weren't that last year. We were everyone was learning as we were going. I think it's much more stable in the locker room.
You didn't have to look very far to find your defensive coordinator. Yeah. Just why did you feel that was important for you to take over that responsibility and add that to your plate?
Yeah, I think I probably underestimated last year how hard it is for someone that didn't grow up in the defense. A lot of times when you're a defensive coordinator, you kind of hire your new defensive coordinator when you get a head job from someone that's been in, well, they all went to Michigan State. So there wasn't anyone, and bringing someone new in that didn't know it, the ins and outs and everything, I think was hard. And so that's really why this year, making sure it's done right and the way we react, the block reaction, all those things are done correctly.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the identity of this defense and how you want this team to play defensively?
Yeah, we're going to challenge, fast, aggressive, physical, and then that's what we've seen in practice, and they've done a great job of living out, kind of the defensive culture that we want to have here.
Quarterback's always going to get the headlines. Mm-hmm. What was it about Malik Murphy when you saw him play that was like, we got to have this guy on our team?
Yeah, I think a big focus for us in the offseason at that position was improving the passing game and our ability to stretch defenses. So his ability he throws one of the best deep balls I've seen a quarterback throw. And so that was a big part of it. And then he's just got proven production.
The identity on offense has always just been, pound the ball. We're going to run the ball. How does that dynamic change?
I think it becomes more balanced, which I think about the great teams that we've had at Oregon State in the past. Always had a good running game, but the quarterbacks and receivers that could keep defenses honest, and then that's a big thing. I can't just load the box now, right, which happened to us a year ago. So I think that keeps defenses honest. We'll open up the run game even more.
For you, what defines success?
It's really our focus is the process, not the result. And if the process is right, how we go about our work every single day, how we prepare, how we do those things, then the results will come. And so our focus is not result-driven, it's process-driven.
Coach, thanks for giving me a little bit of your time. I know it's a crazy time of the year.
I appreciate it.
All right, one last time out for us, and we're on the 2-minute drill. When we come back, our predictions for the Ducks and Beavers will either make us look like geniuses or like fools in the months to come. No pressure. All right, prediction time are the Ducks in 2025. Vegas puts the over-under at 10.5 wins. What do you got?
I think that's about right.
You going over or under?
I'm going over.
Okay, that's bold, Art. So
yes.
One loss basically on the schedule there. The Ducks visit Penn State on September 27th. KGW will have that game, and I will be there in Happy Valley with photographer Richard Gordon. Is that an L on the list for you?
No.
You think they're going and winning there?
They're getting the W there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to take the under. All right, how about the Beavers on their schedule? What do you got? Art, 6.5 is what Vegas puts it at. Over or under?
I'm going over for the Beavs.
Yeah, I agree with you. Hammer the over.
That's right.
I think that schedule is pretty darn favorable once they get through the first 4 games.
Absolutely.
All right, that's going to do it for the show. Thank you so much for rocking with us. Good night.